Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am back with a new video and I'm going to be talking about my journey with alcohol and why I have quit alcohol for 3 months. Yeah, the positives and the negatives of quitting alcohol at such a young age.
You'll be doing things you don't like doing in order to go on living, that is, to go on doing things you don't like doing, which is stupid.
If you're new to my channel, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I'm a qualified personal trainer and I make content such as fitness related videos, health videos. So if that's your vibe, then make sure you subscribe and turn on the little notification bell. Hello, I just wanted to insert a little disclaimer because I have done a couple of videos that talk about alcohol related stuff in previous videos, and I am not an alcoholic, so I don't want people who have alcohol problems to come on here and be triggered in any way. I am talking about like my personal experience with it and like the pros of what I've found positives in giving up alcohol. So it might be helpful in that sense, but obviously just know that I'm not an alcoholic. So if anything is triggering, I do really apologise. And if you think that you might be triggered by this video, then please don't watch it. I would rather you save your mental health. If you don't watch my channel, I am 28 years old. Had to think about that then. Yeah, I'm 28. And ever since I want to say 26, maybe, yeah, 26, I have gone on a bit of a journey with alcohol. And every now and then, I have set myself a challenge to either give up for 3 months or 6 months at a time. Just because in the past, if you might already know this, but in the past I've had some big party stages. And now it's got to a point where I want to seriously concentrate on my career and make a go of it. And alcohol, unfortunately, doesn't fit in with the lifestyle I want to lead, and it really impacts my anxiety. So that's the first thing I want to touch upon. I want to talk about how alcohol affects me mentally, because I feel like some people will be able to relate to this. So when I was younger, I used to use alcohol as, which I'm sure a lot of people do, use alcohol as a way to boost my confidence. And I think a lot of people do the same, especially when you're in like uni and you're meeting new people and you just want a little bit of Dutch courage to go into situations that you wouldn't normally find yourself in, meeting new people, that kind of thing. And I really used to just take it to the next level. And I honestly didn't like drunk Imogen. Like, real drunk Imogen is sometimes a dick. And I know this is what alcohol does to you. Like, alcohol does enhance your personality, and not always for the better. But I was finding myself, let me just turn this on silent. I was seriously finding myself, I'd wake up and I'd literally black out and I'd be like, what the fuck happened? And I'd have to have my friends telling me what I was like, what I was doing, that kind of thing. And it got to a point where I was a bit of like the laughing stock of the group in multiple occasions. And that was fine. Like, I don't take myself that seriously. I mean, I do sometimes, but like in certain situations, like party situations, whatever, I don't take myself that seriously. I don't care, like, if I'm like looking like a bit of an idiot or dancing like an idiot or whatever. Like, if I'm just having fun, then that's fine. But it's when it gets to a point where you literally do not know what happened from this point to this point. And putting yourself in situations that you wouldn't put yourself in when you were sober. So therefore you end up experiencing bad things that probably wouldn't have happened if you were sober. Especially from a female point of view, like when you are blackout drunk, it is a very scary thing, because you could be with really bad people that don't have your best interest at heart. It really got to the point after Ibiza. The first challenge I did was after Ibiza, and I was just like, that this is enough. Like, I just need to just have a break from alcohol. I just need to just feel normal. Like, I need to feel what it's like to be sober. Do you know what I mean? Like, normal. And that's the thing, like when you're in like big group scenarios and you've never been sober, you don't actually know what you're like as a person around big groups. And it can be hard, especially when you're the sober one in the room and you're literally with drunk idiots and you're not on the same level as them. That can be a bit difficult. But I feel like the pros outweigh the cons for me, because my anxiety has been so much better now since I've had this 3 months break, and I've just been a lot more like mentally clearer. Like when I felt like sad, I haven't had like a cloud over that sadness that's like almost like fake from alcohol. I'm sorry if I'm touching my hair too much, it's really annoying. I feel like the positive changes through my anxiety has been impacted, and I think that's a good thing. That's a really like a good thing. I've spoken to people in the past and they've been like, well, how can you go to like an event, like a blogging event, and not drink? And it is hard, especially when you're quiet, because I'm introverted. I'm extroverted in front of people that I really know, like my best friends and my family. If you ask them, they would probably say that was loud. But it's new people. I find new people, you have to get to know me to actually experience the real Imogen. And I've been on YouTube now for like 4 or 5 years, so talking to a camera is completely fine now. But back in the day when I first started, it was like, you should see my first video. I was literally a shaking mess because it just didn't come naturally to me. But I feel like it is a skill to be learned, especially like confidence is a skill to be learned. Public speaking, you have to learn it. I'm not very good at public speaking at all, so I can't speak too much on that. But it's something that needs to be built up and practiced. Moving on to depression. Okay, so I'm going to get these two heavy ones out of the way, and then we'll talk about other things that it's impacted, like my health and stuff like that, like physical health. Depression, I have suffered with depression over the years. From when I was, well, the big hit to my life was when I was 19. I went through a traumatic event. I'm not going to talk about that, but I had really, really bad depression to the point where I wasn't leaving my room, my bedroom. I wasn't leaving the house. Like, I literally couldn't leave the house. And when I did leave the house, I would have a massive panic attack. I was on a lot of medication at the time. I was on anxiety medication to like slow my heart rate down, and antidepressants as well. So at that point, that's when I like seriously experienced like bad depression. And then ever since then, I've had like little patches here and there, but it's never been as bad as that. And I've found that my depression is worse, or like comes back, when I have like quite a few big nights out drinking. There was one time in particular where I was drinking, and I can remember that moment for me was really scary, because I felt like there was no escape. I was really panicky. I was crying, and I literally was like, I need to just get out of this room. I need to get out of this house. I need to just go somewhere. And I kept on having all these like racing thoughts that I couldn't escape. And it was just really too much. It was so too much. And from that day, I was like, right, that's it. I can't drink, because this is just not the headspace I want to be in. This is not worth it for a couple of hours of feeling that buzz. It's not worth it. It's not worth it for those days afterwards of that massive whack in my mental health. The serotonin has been depleted massively, and I just want to I don't want to say it because it's just really heartbreaking. Like that moment always sticks in my mind because it was such a horrible day. Like, and it went on for a couple of days after that, and I was just really, really in a scary headspace. And my boyfriend was there at the time, and he didn't know what to do because he was like, "What?" I think he was really scared for me because he'd never seen me in that state before. And eventually, as the day progressed, I just had to tell myself, this is because I've drank alcohol. Like, this is not my own, like, this is not me. This is the alcohol. Do you know what I mean? I had to, like, differentiate between the two to kind of rationalise it, because I was completely being irrational, like totally irrational. So then I did like a stint after that, and then this time round that was quite a few. I think that was about 2 years ago, maybe a year ago now. I can't remember when it exactly was. I really noticed a massive difference in my mental health when I give up alcohol. And it doesn't just impact my mental health. I want to also talk about like productivity in my fitness and my health and my career as well. So let's talk about that now. When I have a big heavy night out, I literally will just eat crap for like days afterwards, because when you're hungover, you can't be bothered to do anything. And you just feel like rubbish. So why would you want to go in the kitchen and make yourself nutritious meals when you can't even be bothered to do the most basic things? Like, for me, that's just how I am. And then because I've eaten crap for a couple of days, and then it just spirals into just me just being unproductive and just feeling like shit. And genuinely, after like a big heavy night out, it's not just a 1 day hangover for me. Mentally, it's like a 1 week or 2 week thing afterwards. Get to like that clear spot, the clear headspace spot. Yeah, I'm almost talking myself out of like starting drinking again because of all the good stuff that not drinking brings you. Like, I originally did this challenge, I think I started the 22nd of September, and it's now the 15th of December, and I'm going to be doing it until the 22nd of December. But I honestly was debating whether I should even drink over Christmas because of this very reason. Like, I've got a very big month coming up in January with my fitness business, and feeling like shit from self-inflicted pain doesn't fit into that. Like, I can't be in that headspace. I just don't have time for that headspace. So for me, it was a real big thing trying to have a drink and just having like 2 drinks and just stopping at 2 drinks. If you said that to Imogen, who was 21, she would be like, what the fuck, like, get a grip, like, just have a good time. And then the next day you would have a conversation with her and she'd be like, I couldn't tell you what happened. Maybe not 21, I'm talking about like 18-year-old Imogen here. Yeah, so for me, it really impacts my health as well, because all of that kind of like, when you've had like a bad, difficult day and you feel like, oh, okay, I'm going to just grab a bottle of wine and I'll sit on the couch and drink some wine to just like relieve some stress. I find that fitness does that for me now. So like, I'll go and do a heavy weight session, weight training, and I'll be like, wow, I literally am got some like heavy drum and bass pumping out, and I'm doing a heavy weightlifting session, and that is now my release. Like, I don't feel like I need alcohol to release that stress. And And that might sound like really boring to some of you, but it honestly makes such a difference when you don't have to, you feel like you don't have to reach for alcohol as a way to, as a relief at the end of the week, if that makes sense. I don't know. And also, I don't get that like Sunday dreaded feeling anymore. Like I used to get the worst Sunday dread before work. Like, oh God, that was horrible. You know what I'm talking about. You know that Sunday dreaded feeling. It's horrible. I'll put up a couple of pictures as well, like what I used to look like when I was like drinking ridiculous amounts. Like I just wasn't in a very good headspace. I just used alcohol as a way to boost my confidence. Then it was just a never-ending cycle, because then I just ate loads, put on loads of weight, and then just continued this vicious cycle of drinking, eating, putting on weight, and just not in a very good place whatsoever. So I don't have a lot of pictures from back in the day, because I wasn't very self-confident. I didn't have very much self-confidence, so I didn't really like taking photos of those times. And if I do decide to have a drink in December for Christmas, then I know for a fact by January I'll be back on no drinking because that's just what we like doing over here. So I'll probably do from January to March and do another 3-month challenge. I'm pretty sure that's what I did this year as well before we went to the Philippines. And I was discussing this with Liam, like, I don't know whether eventually we will just quit drinking altogether. Like, I don't want to say that that's going to be a definite, but I do feel like we're heading down that path of just removing alcohol completely, because I don't know, I just don't think it's worth it anymore. I don't know if a lot of you can agree, I don't know. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this kind of video. If you want me to do these style of videos, let me know in the comments. Let me know if you have gone sober and how long you've been sober for, and subscribe if you're new. I will see you in my next one. Bye.